What up? What's happening? What it do? It's your boy Big Trail. Big Trail's Vlogcast. Give yourself a round of applause, please. That's right. Always clap it up for yourself. Be your number one cheerleader. We're going to get right into this. This is from a YouTube channel called Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. Again, it's Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. I believe he's based out of here in Atlanta. I've been watching him for a few years now, since I was in Colorado. And it's a very good, very informative channel. It deals with a lot of the injustices that we go through as people. A lot of them are like black topics, you know what I mean? But there's other topics, other races that are involved in here. But it's a really good channel, so I think y'all should check them out. But anyway, the title of this is called Uber Driver Fatally Runs Over Toddler in Front of Family. So we're just gonna get right into it. Enough said with the title.
Horrible, unfortunate tragedy. An Uber driver fatally runs over a child in front of the family. The family has an understandable response. Here it is.
They let him have it.
According to the report, this driver dropped off a family at their apartment complex in Texas. A child, a 2-year-old girl, was in front of the vehicle, and according to the driver could not see the child and proceeded to run over this very young person. Family.
That's horrible. That's sad. I see why they reacted that way, and we'll get more into it. Let's see.
They responded and reacted. Put up the picture full mass. One of the saddest stories we've had this year. An Uber driver dropped off a family.
And you can see, you can see the kid right here. So you can see how the driver didn't see that kid. The kid's pretty much below the hood, He's probably, if he would have been paying attention, maybe if he would have counted how many people, I don't know if they all got out of the car, but if he would have counted 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know. I don't know how he could have avoided that.
Family at their apartment complex in Texas ended up fatally hitting a 2-year-old in their company in a tragic turn of events. The Harris County Sheriff's Office said the accident happened Sunday afternoon after Uber driver Muhammad Khan dropped off 2 women and 2 children at an apartment on Waverly Drive in Houston. Video from a Ring camera doorbell showed both women and a 6-year-old child walking toward one apartment while a 2-year-old girl was left standing in the parking lot. Authorities said the girl walked in front of the vehicle, but was too short for Khan to see over his dashboard.
You got a 2-year-old kid and you're in a parking lot. You got to keep up with the youngest kid. That's the first one you should have looked for. You have to look out for your kids. You have to, especially the young kids. The smallest kids should be the first one that you lock eyes on, that you grab, that you hold their hand, that you know where they're at. The youngest one is the one you should be like, where are they at? All right, now where's the rest? You should want to find them all at the same time, but the youngest is the one that's going to most likely run out into the street. The youngest is the one that's not easily seen. So you have to look out for that. So part of that is, I'm not trying to, I know they're grieving right now, but part of it's their fault. It's their fault for not keeping up with that kid. And they beat that driver. The driver didn't see the kid. And at the same time as the driver, you should know how many people got out your car. That's in your car. Okay, there's 4 people. You look off to the side and you be like, okay, I only see 3. Where's the other one? Where's the 4th? Where'd they go? You got to keep a head count. You got to keep a mental count in your head too when you're pulling off. So if you have 5 people in your car, 4 people, 5 people, and you're getting ready to pull off and you look over, you only see 3 of them. You stop and just look around because they might be around your car. So, but at the same time, I don't know how he's supposed to see the kid in front of him. Unless you just got to be locked in. You got to really be paying attention.
So when he started to drive out of the parking lot, he hit the 2-year-old and ran over her. The sheriff's office said the girl got pinned under the car's left rear tire. Both women and several other men tried to remove the child. Khan also tried to move his car, but could not. That's when all the adults pulled Khan out of his car, started beating him, according to the sheriff's office.
Wow.
At some point, someone else moved the car, and the toddler was taken to a gas station where first responders were called.
That's so crazy.
Medics performed life-saving measures before rushing her to a nearby hospital in critical condition. She was pronounced dead at the hospital. Khan, the driver, was also taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries from the assault. Investigators said when they got to the scene, Khan showed no signs of impairment. He cooperated with the investigation. No charges have been filed, and the sheriff's office is still investigating. Uber issued a statement stating that the driver has been removed from the platform while the investigation continues. Quote, "The details of what's been reported are heartbreaking, and our thoughts go out to the victim's family. We have removed the driver's access to the platform while this investigation is ongoing and are standing by to assist police however we can." Ms. Dahl, you are an attorney. This is obviously...
All right, before we watch the rest, just below in the comments, what do you guys think? Like, how do you guys think this should be handled? Should the driver be blamed? Should the parents be blamed? Should it go on both of them? I think it's equally. I think they're equally to blame, because if you, like, as a parent, you got to know where your kids are at all times, like I said before. And as a driver, you got to know how many people walked out your vehicle. And forgive me, but unless I go back, I don't really remember seeing that little kid come out the car, but they could have.
There seems to be no intention to harm anyone, so there's no mens rea to commit a crime. According to the report, there was no impairment, so you don't have the negligence of alcohol or drug use involved and then the commission of a crime. But you have an extremely unfortunate and extreme situation. The family reacted. I'm not going to judge that family for how they reacted. I believe I would have reacted in a very similar fashion.
True.
What say you to this ordeal?
Yeah, so tragic. And we've heard these before. Sometimes it's the parent.
That's true. Even if it's your fault, the fact that your kid got ran over, it's going to cause a reaction like that. There's going to be a reaction like that. So I don't blame the parents for reacting the way they did, but I do blame them for not watching that kid.
Who backs up and hits their own child in their driveway. Very tragic when the child is so short to not be able to be seen out the window. I mean, that's why actually, frankly, a lot of our rear view cameras these days are more helpful, because you can see more behind your car. But the difference between an accident and criminal negligence, there has to be something that the driver did or should have done. And like you said, it seems like he's sober, so he didn't do anything he wasn't supposed to do. And the child was so short that he looked and couldn't see it. And so absent any kind of negligence, that would be ruled accidental. Very, very tragic. It looked like nobody called 911 until they got to the gas station. Yeah. Would anything have been saved if first responders had come earlier? Who knows? Probably not. But if anybody, surrounding ever sees something tragic,
call the police
that's
immediately.
One way of helping a family is by getting on the phone and calling 911 as soon as possible.
Yeah, getting the first.
Every minute, every second counts. I don't know if that child would have been saved, but the sooner you can call 911, the sooner you can call the fire department. Every second counts when it comes to that, because you don't know if they can stop some kind of bleeding, if they can do something on their way to the hospital, that's what initially is able to save a person from dying, is the ambulance getting there and being able to do their initial treatment before they make it to the hospital.
The first responder there, ASAP, always the most appropriate thing to do immediately when a child is injured in particular. But I want to say this, open the conversation up some. I remember many, many years ago when we had fatalities in America because cars would literally hit the back of a tractor trailer and come under the tractor trailer in a way that sometimes would cause fatalities because of how the tractor trailer was fashioned. And then there was this movement to have mandates for this rear apparatus to stop that from happening. And so now you don't hear about those types of fatalities as much. And every truck basically has one of those rear modules because the industry said we have to now change how we make the vehicle or the tractor trailer to protect people.
Yeah.
I wonder, is there room for a movement inside of the automotive industry to ensure that there's no blind spot when it comes to a 2-year-old child? I know to some that may sound extreme, but that's exactly what has happened with other safety features on vehicles.
No, they can do that. The problem is that's probably like on, I won't even say high-end vehicles, but most of these cars probably cost a little bit more than the average car to have that feature. But I think those should be installed, something like that should be installed in every car.
Yes, there is. And interestingly enough, in our law, if somebody gets sued because of an accident, let's say a car, let's say a family sues the car manufacturer and says, why don't you have this kind of safety feature? You see this kind of accident happen often. A car manufacturer could install a safety feature
they
like
should.
that. And it's not used against them in court. Because we encourage manufacturers to increase safety, and it's not used as evidence of negligence.
Right.
And frankly, I think a lot of cars are moving that way anyway. So many cars have those rear view mirrors. It definitely helps with all sorts of accidents. But it's true, either legally we could do it, or if they are sued, that is often a way to incentivize them to increase their safety measures.
That's right. It basically limits or eliminates the liability if something adverse happens. That's correct.
Yeah, well, that's a very tragic story. And again, the parents' response is not out of the ordinary. You can't really blame them for their response. The only thing you can blame is somebody not watching that kid. And I hate to harp on that. I hate for that to be, where it's at. But because somebody just lost a loved one, someone just lost a child. But you have to keep eyes on little kids. So like I said, I'm not sure if that kid came out the car or if that kid came out the house. So if the kid came out the house, I can understand the driver not having tabs on that kid. But the kid came out the car, part of you has to say, okay, she has 3 kids. And before you get ready to pull off, when you see everybody get out the car, because I used to drive Uber. The first thing I do is I look back to see if they left anything in the seats. I'm looking to see if they made it to the curb. And then, then I'll pull off or whatever I have to do. So you just count the number of people and you're like, okay, I only see 3 people. Where's the 4th one at? And then that'll give you caution to stop and look around your car, make sure nobody's around. So I don't know, but it's just a tragedy, and I hate that happened. But we just gotta watch our kids. Watch your kids, all right? Parents, watch your kids. All right, this your boy Big Trail, Big Trail's Vlogcast. Let's get it. Get it.